Welcome.
That was it. Yes. Hello. We are totally ready for this. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. A little bit past midweek, so you're already on the slope towards the weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some big weekend plans to be exciting. Like, I don't know, what would be exciting weekend plans?
We have soccer, so yay.
Exciting. Yeah, man. No, it's fun out there. All
Yeah.
those parents shouting at their kids.
Or encouraging them
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the sidelines.
yeah. That's what it is.
That's
Absolutely.
what we're doing.
Absolutely. So coming out and watch the soccer games, Max Rhodes, all weekend long. We've got a game. Evie's got a game.
On Saturday.
Evie just started soccer. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're going to our
have fun.
first soccer game.
On Beachside, right?
Yeah, it's over there somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
This is all new to us, you expert veteran.
Oh, goodness. It's okay.
Yeah, man. So, but we're not at the weekend yet. You still got the rest of the day. You got Friday. So hopefully you've been feeling the Lord is with you. This is our weekly check-in to hear about that, to hear from y'all, to share what's going on, especially as we start thinking about the upcoming scripture, the scripture for this coming Sunday, which is a bit of a doozy. It's a weird one to preach. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
I bet you can do it.
Thanks.
I know you can do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Your encouragement gives me strength.
Oh. Let's see who's on.
So whatever you're doing, if you're getting your lunch or you're finishing up your lunch, getting back to work, or you're just hanging out at home or driving to Kansas, we're glad that you're with us. Let us know you're with us, and whatever's going on with you. Alicia and I could talk all day, but it'd be nice to hear from you.
We could. Help us.
We could. Yeah. Who knows where this will go? So check in and let us know how you're doing. We're just spending a little time giving you all that time to do that, to pull over, wipe your mouth.
Start eating your lunch.
Pulled
over in
Yes.
a park.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Remember the visual we talked about last week with looking outside and feeling the breeze?
A little cold today, though. So
it is really cold.
Yeah. So if you have a McFlurry, best to eat it inside.
If you ordered a McFlurry on a cold day, we'll pray for you.
Look, me and my kids, we are down for ice cream any day.
Oh, goodness.
Any day. Yeah, man. I can't get it. How did you do that?
That's okay. I got it.
Yeah.
So, Tab is
Got it.
here.
Hey, Tab. All right. There, it's up. Did you hear it awkwardly
Yes.
come up?
Michelle, Joanne is here.
Okay, now I've got.
Perfect.
Now I can.
See you guys. Hi, guys.
Welcome.
We
We're
see
glad to
you.
have you. Now I see you. Yes. Hello. Oh, Brentley's going to have some delicious lunch, I am sure.
I can't wait till she tells us what she's having.
Did you bring lunch today?
Not yet.
I got salad.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's got feta cheese on it, man.
Ew.
Oh, that's the bomb.
That's gross.
Feta cheese.
Oh, my gosh.
That's how we say feta cheese in my house. Feta cheese.
Okay.
But only feta.
All right.
Everything else is just cheese.
Okay. I'm so
This is
happy
going to be
you're
the
all
best
with us.
tea time ever. I'm in a mood, aren't I?
We are. You are. All right. So we're going to go to a
Oh, is it
video,
time
right?
already? Okay.
We're going to go to a video.
Stay with us.
And we'll be back to chat with you guys.
Yeah, in just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back.
Still with us? We're still here. We're still here and ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are in the middle of a big thing for Lent, right?
Yes.
And so the theme that we've been working with there's two big ideas with the theme, right? Mm-hmm. So Lent is really all about realigning your heart with God. That's one of the easy ways to talk about it. So many ways to make that happen, and we often talk about, I'm going to let go of something, or I'm going to try a thing. Mm-hmm. So great. And if you want to let us know, we'd love to hear what that is, how Lent is shaping up for you. But what we're also emphasizing with our series this Lent is grabbing hold of God's promise. Mm-hmm. We have a God who makes promises, who has made promises, and who keeps them. Mm-hmm. That is what really keeps us going as the family of God. God has made promises over each of us. And so each week, we're looking at that. 2 weeks ago, we saw Noah and the covenant God made with all of, specifically all of air-breathing life.
Yes.
Yeah, which... Oh my gosh, I just saw the coolest science show last night about diatoms. Do you guys know about diatoms? You've got to look this up. It's incredible. Anyway,
Your
all
friend
air-breathing life.
Eric is not here, so this does not
work with me.
us.
Come on, work with me. Diatoms. Amazing. You can see them from space. Okay, anyway, so all air-breathing life. Last week was the big covenant that God made with Abraham, which... I mean, it's a little sad, right? Because in the church, we talk about Abraham. He's just this guy. Like, sometimes we don't realize just how stunning that promise is. Mm-hmm. And not just the promise itself, but God's repeated visitations with Abram, later Abraham, to keep him going, to encourage him, to remind him. And it's not like... it's not like God showed up each time either to test him, right? Like, hey, are you still, you know what I mean?
Hey,
yeah,
just
checking on you. And I say that because sometimes we think that God is like, hold on, I'm stuck. That God is like that, like God is like watching over and making sure we're behaving, right?
Sometimes we wish he would.
For other people.
Yeah. Yes.
Which gets us right to this week, and why this week feels a little weird, because we're talking about the 10 Commandments.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Hey, so when I say 10 Commandments to you, what do you think? How do you feel? What's your, reaction?
The rules of life.
The rules of life. Yeah, man. Right.
That's what comes
rules.
to mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of the whole, especially because I think this is still true. Like, if you heard them, especially as a kid, they probably sounded like "thou shalt not." Like, do we still have that phrase? Is that still a thing?
So I have the 10 Commandments in my kid's bathroom.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Wait, at home?
Yes.
That's hardcore, bro.
Yeah, but it's the kid version. Like, I feel like it's like put it more in a language that they can relate to. And so it's like, respect your parents or whatever. But, so it's not like the same wording that we're used to.
Right.
And I find myself reading it there instead because I'm like, oh, I can relate to this.
Well, I guess that's what I'm curious. Like, okay, so I don't know. I'd be curious to hear if anybody else out there has the 10 Commandments posted in their house. Like, I've seen that, but I forgot about that. So
I just thought it was cool.
So how does it hit you when you do check in, when you do read it? Like, how does it feel?
Well, like reading them, right? Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, yes, the kids are doing this. Yes. Like
you're doing kind of like a check. How we doing?
Yeah.
So you're doing that, like,
yes,
hey, yeah, right.
Oh man, we need to work on that one.
Yeah, I like what Bonnie said. Well, I mostly like what Bonnie said, right? Everything God wants in 10 easy steps. I just don't know that they're 10 easy steps.
I don't know that they're easy.
Yeah.
10 steps, maybe.
But it's one of those times where the Bible boils things down for us, right? Yeah. I keep hearing this number. I've never counted it up. I'm just trusting scholars that are more intentional than I am, that there's 613 commandments in the Old Testament.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm doing my annual read through the Bible, and I'm still in Deuteronomy, and man, it's like overwhelming. There's so many.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's what Bonnie means by 10 easy steps. It's boiled down into 10 big themes. There she is.
Yeah, easy should have
been
in quotation mark. In quotation.
And maybe this is the time to tell the story. I was at a Christian camp kind of a thing, and we had this. What would you call that? It was like, if you really want to go next level in the camp, go downtown. It was in this really cool. It was Manitou Springs, Colorado. It's a beautiful place. Go downtown to Manitou Springs, right near Garden of the Gods, and evangelize. Go up to random people on the street, right? And that immediately for me, like all kinds of anxiety, right? Like, oh no. And so they gave us a script, and the script was basically, I guess, trusting that most folks at that time, this is 30 years ago, most folks at that time had some church in them, and basically try to get people to, hey, can you list all 10 commandments? Right? Which at first you're like, yeah, it's just 10, but it's actually harder to do than you think.
Yeah. Did you have like the 10 on the list?
Oh yeah, we had a cheat sheet.
Yeah, okay. I was making sure.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know them,
right?
Like how could you be asking someone else?
So, but here's the thing: it was kind of like gotcha sort of thing. It's what I hate to even call it evangelism, but that's kind of how I grew up with that kind of a mindset. Because the idea was you eventually get all 10 named. Like it's not how many do you actually know? Can you pass our test? It's let's get all 10 of them in front of us. Oh. And then you say, how many of these do you think you can break and get into heaven? Right? You see where this is going? It's awful. And then you ask them, well, how many have you broken?
That was your script?
Yeah. So the one time I did this with a couple of little camp nerds was this dude. He's this poor guy. He's just chilling on a park bench, right? Just chilling on a park bench. And these kids come up, like, we probably looked all kinds of nervous. And so we're like trying to go through this ridiculous script, and he's being cool with us. And then when we get to that question about how many have you broken, he leans in a little. He's like, all of them.
Oh.
Yeah, right. And we didn't have the spiritual depth. We weren't actually looking to have a conversation with this guy. We're looking to work a script. And so we weren't prepared for that.
For his response.
Yeah, man.
So what'd you do?
I think we hightailed out of there.
You just turned around and left?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not a great moment. But I think I say that, one, because I, for whatever reason, like that story and who I was and who I was trying to be. But also, I think that's part of our problem is that we take these 10 commandments and we don't really see them for what they are meant to be. We see them as rules. And they are, but that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it. And so yeah, I'd love to hear any stories you have of 10 commandments. And hopefully ways that you felt them bring life, right? God is a life bringer, or if we've kind of got this similar thing where we kind of use them to beat ourselves or each other up a bit. What's that face you're making? Because
I'm still processing.
Yeah.
I'm a visual person, so I'm like imagining you walking up in the park, and so I'm placing myself in the person's spot that you did that you asked the questions to. And I feel like part of me would have maybe said the same thing, like, I've broken them all, like to see what your response was. And you walked away.
Yeah.
Like you totally could have been like, I don't know, like, I feel like there's so many things you could have said, like, how did that make you feel, right? Or like, really? So what are we doing to get better now? Or like, I don't know, something like, I don't know that I have the exact what I would say, but like something like, was he looking for you to respond? Was he just saying it to make you respond? Right. I don't know. I'm like digging into your story, but anyways,
right.
Sorry guys.
Was he just messing with us?
Yeah.
Was he actually looking to engage? Right. So, hey man, if you're out there
and watching
this, you remember me?
Did you look the same? I've seen some pictures of you not looking the same.
I look remarkably the same.
I have
aged
picture.
really well.
I love that picture of you. I have some really funny pictures of Pastor Ryan that he looks great, but he looks very different.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell us.
Yeah, because I think part of it is, I mean, as a dad, man, I'm trying to get my kids to obey the rules of our home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And so I think the idea of rules is, at least in the culture I grew up in, and I think that's why we weren't prepared for that, man on the bench, was like, no, these are the rules. what do you mean you've broken all of them? Like, it just didn't compute with at least me. I can't really speak for my friends.
They ran away just like you.
As far as I know, I don't have a clear memory of anything else. It was just like, does not compute. And off we went. Yeah, because I mean, I'm such a rules oriented person, I think, from my upbringing. And so like I'll have a hard time with some of those little kind of like disobeying a sign in a store or something like that. Oh. Right?
Like going the wrong way on the signs, like in the stores when they had them on the floor.
Oh yeah, I couldn't deal with that. Oh. I had a real hard time with that. Yeah, because it's right there on the floor.
Yeah, but like I just need something right there.
I would go all the way around.
Oh, I did too, only because they were yelling at me to make sure. But I didn't even notice the signs actually.
Right, you know, that is such a good example, right? Because those were rules put in place with what we knew at the time, or what we thought we knew at the time. And I'm sorry if we weren't clear. This was early in the pandemic.
Yes, at like Publix.
Yeah, Publix is the one I'm thinking of, where they went one way with their grocery aisles, right? Yeah. And first they put like the little arrows down, and then eventually they started putting something like at eye level that was like,
oh,
don't
I didn't
go
ever
this way.
see the eye level ones.
Yeah, because I mean, just about every time I went shopping, there's at least 3 units of people, families, kids even, that are just going whichever way they want to go. So those rules were not just put in place to like control us. No. The idea was to protect us. Yeah. To help us. And so when we're looking at the 10 Commandments, that's more in line with, and I think that's why you had a hard time with my story, that's more in line with God's heart with these rules. The rules aren't just arbitrary, pronouncements from the top of a mountain to control the people. Right. Some of them, especially when you look at the other commandments, kind of feel like that because they're so weird. Like one of the ones I read this morning was you can't mix linen and wool in your garments. Don't do that. What? Yeah. What? So
that's in the 10 Commandments?
No, it's not in the 10 Commandments. In some of the other commandments.
I'm like, really? I've missed that my whole life. I do want to. Tab, it's okay. The Publix has pulled their signs, so you're not missing anything.
Good. You can go back to Publix, Tab. It's all right.
Probably not a good example. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Publix.
Teeth with the microphone. Yeah. So the commandment that I really wanted to look back, right? If we start with the idea that these are not just arbitrary rules, that these are rules that are really meant for good, to really help us.
Could we call it something, not rules?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but maybe people would be more eager to follow them if they weren't like rules. Like these are the rules. I don't know. I don't know. Tell us the commandment, because I'm thinking outside the box. Sorry.
So we call them commandments, but they're actually called the words. They're the 10 words. Right? So that's something that we've kind of attached to them, this idea of their commandments. But, I mean, when you really read through that whole section, first 5 books of the Bible where you see these, really the second 4 books of the Bible, it's not so much Genesis. There's a little of that in there. It does. It sounds like rules. They read as rules and commandments. More than guidelines, Sonia. I see what you're trying to do there.
She had me almost sold on that.
Yeah, right?
Guidelines.
Yeah. Well, and the only thing, because guidelines imply like,
yeah, like you don't have to. We're guiding you to do this, but you have free will to do that. Like,
it's like a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are not the 10 suggestions.
Gotta come up with a stronger word.
Keep going, Sonia.
Yeah, keep thinking.
Keep doing your thing.
Keep helping us.
Yeah. Right. And so the first 4 have to do with our relationship with God, right? And this all fits in. This is why Jesus later can say with authority and certainty that all the commandments boil down to basically 2. Okay. Love God, love people, right? He's a little bit more specific, but that's it. Love God with all you are and love people. So the first 4 are about honoring God, essentially, about loving God, and the last 6 are about loving people.
Okay.
And so in the first 4, it talks about not having any gods before God. And then it says, don't make any images of God. Like nothing. And it goes, that one is like, it goes down a bit of a rabbit hole for a bit. It's kind of a long word. We're talking about 10 words. It's a long one. So yeah, that one there, number 3, is that it? No.
These are the kids' version.
That's the kids' version. Yeah, it's going to confuse me. So actually, you know what? I've got it right here. So let's just go ahead and read what I'm talking about. So this is Exodus chapter 20, verse 4. Well, and this is how it reads in the NIV. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or on the earth beneath or in the waters below. Mm-hmm. And at first I'm like, yeah, no problem. It's not like I'm going to sit at home, get a stump and start carving a face into it and saying that that's God. I mean, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But when I really sit with it, I think there's a lot of ways that, and this ties close. I think what's going on with your kids' version is sometimes these kind of wrap up together into the one that's have no other gods before me. That's really not a problem, right? I don't have a little statue in my house. But if I'm really willing to sit with this one, I think this is one of the hardest commandments to live with.
I agree.
Why do you agree? I'm surprised you just said that.
Well, because I think people do it without thinking about it.
Yes. Yeah.
I had to come up with that answer because you put me on the spot.
Oh, sorry,
I was nervous.
You handled it so well. Yeah, right. I think it's easy to duck this one because it's not like I've got a sacred pole in my yard that I dance around, right?
I love that Bonnie laughed.
Bonnie laughed at that one. Yeah, right. I mean, when you think about like the old terms for idol worship, it just doesn't fit. But when you sit with all the ways that we actually have a problem with this, even really good things like my family, who I love more than life itself, if I love them to the point where I put them in between me and God, there's a real problem there.
Yeah.
You know,
God's number one.
Yeah. And but part of how that gets murky is so much of God's reality and God's love I've experienced through my family. Right. And then there's things that like sometimes I'm looking at our flag waving over there. There's sometimes where we get that mixed up. We want to be patriots and be grateful for the country we've been given. But God is higher.
Yeah. God is the highest.
God is the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks. That's a better way to put it. Sometimes the plans that God has given us, that I feel that God has given us, sometimes those can take the place of God. Sometimes the faith that has grown in us can take the place of God. We sit with the question, is my faith in who God is or who I understand God to be? And that's different.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
And sometimes hard to decipher, right?
Right. Yeah, it can be really hard to, and that's what you were saying before, that these are, and I'm sorry, I forgot how you said it, but we often fall to this one without even realizing it.
Right.
Things just can get so murky. And the stuff that we really care about, a lot of it, we care about it because we feel that God wants us to care about it. Mm-hmm. But it can take the place of the ultimate allegiance and humility before God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what do we do? What's the answer?
Well, now I'm thinking of if there's anything that I'm putting before God.
Right.
That I don't realize that I'm doing.
Yeah, like we should probably all do that. So what do we do as a response? How do we resolve this?
I mean, first of all,
Well, that's all the time we have, friends. Thanks.
I wish it was that easy. Let's leave you on that question.
Come on Sunday and we'll work it all out. We are actually about out of time, I think, aren't we?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're supposed to be done in like a minute or so.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, the plan was never to really fully resolve this one, but to really just sit with it. And this is a great season to do that. But let's shift just a little bit, because what we're looking at is this understanding that they're good. These, what did Ryan say? These requirements. I don't know, man. We'll sit with that for a little bit. But these requirements, they're good for us.
Right.
And they're the gift of a loving God. They're meant to help us. And so to kind of take hold of that, and what we're looking at is a God who's leading us to life. And to see these kind of like guardrails. That's the one I'm going to go with.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all feeling that?
It's definitely a visual.
Guardrails for a holy life, a God-honoring life, a life that is in keeping with, God is the one who made us, and he made us a certain way. And when we're not living according to the way God made us, it's not just painful, it causes damage.
Yeah.
It causes real harm.
Real harm.
Yeah,
yes.
for us, for the people around us, for people we don't know.
Yep.
So yeah, as you sit with this question, and maybe you start to feel bad about it, trust that this is all meant to lead us to life and peace, and to living the holy life that God really intends for us, which is, man, really the way to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like how you said that, the holy life that God intended for us.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a powerful thing.
Like the bumpers at the bowling alley riot is on fire. Strike.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Yeah, man.
You guys are silly.
We do need to wrap this up, though. Is there anything we need to tell our family? We're still in our regular pattern. We've got some plans cooking up for Easter sunrise. Can we start saying that, though? I feel like
how about we just say we have plans?
we have plans for Easter
Let's
sunrise.
not release the details yet.
We're
I'm
looking
really
to do it off campus, and so that involves a little bit more planning and stuff. And so we want to make sure that we don't tell you the wrong information and then have a really confusing Easter celebration.
And outside.
Yes, off campus
People are gonna be
and
excited
outside.
about that.
Yeah, man.
Super excited.
Easter sunrise should be outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to celebrate Easter sunrise inside with a light bulb.
No.
So it's going to be great. And
we have some other things going up before that.
We do.
But so keep watching our Facebook and our website and all of that. Keep checking in as we put that information out there and share with them. Maybe we can at least share with them next week or Sunday.
Go on.
Big things coming up.
What's that?
Yeah. Can't tell you yet.
Oh, but we'll tell you on Sunday. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, we're waiting till Sunday.
So you just got to come back. You got to log back in or come to campus if you're one of our closer families. But there is something that would be good to remember is that we've started Grow Night this Tuesday. And, man, I got to say, I felt it at my class. I really felt God move in my learning forgiveness class. So if you are interested in that, it's all right. If you missed the first one, you can go online and check it out and let us know, and we'll make sure to send you the link or put out a chair for you. Otherwise, stay close, stay safe, and we will see you online or in person really soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us.
See
Bye.
See you Sunday.